Huh? What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1943 movie Son of Dracula. So, this movie is directed by Robert C. Mack, who would go on to direct a lot of neo-noir movies later in his career. Some of the most popular ones from that time period. I don't know if I've personally seen any of them, but you can see his influence in this movie from, at least I'm guessing anyway, because this kind of has a neo-noir feel to it with this detective stuff going on. But in this movie, Count Alucard has just taken up a residence and married a woman named Catherine, who is a student of the occult and is obsessed with the occult, and she starts acting different and looks different, and her ex Frank is wondering, okay, what happened to her. So he gets help from Dr. Brewster and psychologist Lazlo to help him find out what's going on with her, and they all come to the conclusion that Count Alucard has turned her into a vampire. And we later find out that Alucard is actually Dracula. This movie is pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it quite a bit. It starts off really good. It kind of gets slow for a little bit, and then it picks back up. But it has a pretty good story. I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed this one, because Dracula's Daughter, which I thought was an okay movie. I don't really remember that one very well. It was kind of forgettable, but it was okay. The first Dracula I liked quite a bit, though, and I think this was a decent sequel in the franchise. Although I don't understand why it's called Son of Dracula, because it doesn't have anything to do with Dracula having a son. Like, the title is very misleading and everything, but the cast in here are all really good. Lon Chaney Jr. takes over the role of Dracula, and he's the only cast member that I feel like isn't the best. Like, he just isn't Bela Lugosi. He's fine for the movie, but like, I think if they could have got Bela Lugosi to come back, he would have been even better. But for what it is, he did a fine job. Like I said, he could have better in this movie, but he's better as the Wolfman, but he's fine as Dracula. Yeah, I also think it's really funny, like, Alucard is the name Dracula just spelled backwards. It's like they really went out on a limb there to come up with a creative name for the character. Louise Alberton, I probably butchered her name, plays Catherine. She's really good too. I liked her. She kind of has this creepy goth girl vibe to her that just I find awesome in girls and stuff. One of the reasons I love The Bride of Frankenstein so much, she just has a great style to her. While I wouldn't say she's as cool as Dracula's Daughter was, I still think she was pretty good. She's kind of a good bride for Dracula. I honestly don't get why they didn't just call this Bride of Dracula. It would have made a lot more sense in the title. But Robert Page as Frank is pretty good too, and the rest of the supporting cast are all good as well. They all fit their roles perfectly fine. And this movie has a lot of the cool sets and stuff that you expect out of this franchise. The makeup and stuff is pretty cool. The special effects with the flying bat don't hold up very well. You could tell that it was like a little toy bat or something, but this movie came out all those years ago. It's passable. came out like 79 years ago, so I'm not going to complain too much about the visual effects. Seeing that they hold up as good as they do is pretty good, so I get they are what they are, and the lighting and stuff in here is really good. I just really like the way this movie is made. Like it's very well made and stuff. It's really pretty enjoyable. It's definitely not one of the best out of the Universal monster movies or anything, but it is definitely entertaining one. And out of the Dracula movies, this one is definitely better than the Dracula's Daughter. And I think there's not very many other Dracula movies left that I have out of in that pack. So, like, this one was a decent movie. That I noticed that they just didn't do as many on Dracula as they did some of the other characters. But this one was pretty good. And everything, and it could have been better, could have been worse. It's fine for what it is. So I'd say I'd give it a 7 out of 10. It's really enjoyable. Like I said, does get a little bit slow, and it has that exposition dump dialogue that you expect in these movies. It kind of is annoying and everything, but at the same time, it's kind of predictable. You know how these movies usually go and stuff, and what to expect with them, and it doesn't really disappoint too much, because you know whether or not to expect these movies to be as good as the others. The Universal monster sequels are either hit or miss. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not. And this one wasn't one that I would say was really good, but it was good and it was entertaining. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of Son of Dracula, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.